Hi everyone, my name is Andres, and today we are gonna be learning about the use of the word eat. So, this word is most of the times a problem for English learners, beginners, because the use of this is quite different than the use of some similar words that we have in Spanish. So today we are going to clarify some of the topics and the uses related with this word. So we have to keep in mind first that all the English sentences need a subject. In this order of ideas, we can say that the word eat was designed or created in order to replace the subject most of the times, or to replace a specific part of the sentence that we don't have to repeat like every couple of seconds or every time that we want to refer to that especially. So to begin, we gotta know that this is not the only use. Of course, we can use it for some other sentences that are not really related with the replacement of the subject. So we can use it for sentences like the weather and the time. For example, we can say, it's really cold, right? Or we can say, it's really sunny when we talk about the weather. And for the time, we say, for example, it's 8 o'clock, right? So these are two different uses, the weather and the time, that we can do for the use it. And this is not really replacing a subject or referring to something previously mentioned, right? Now, on the next step, we can say that some verbs require a direct object. What does it mean? It means that, basically when we are using these verbs, we can replace this object for the word that we are learning about today, the word eat. For example, we have in here the verbs sent and the verbs pooped. So, for example, in here we have, what did you do with the document? We have two different possibilities of the answer. The first one would be, I sent to your secretary, which is wrong. And the right one would be, I send it, because this one in here is basically replacing the verb that was previously used on the sentence. So we know that they are talking about the document in here, right? So I send it to your secretary. In there, we have to keep in mind that as the subject or the object was previously mentioned, we already know what this is replacing. And finally, we have to keep in mind that we will find some objects that they won't be on the singular option, right? So when it's just one and we are talking about singular things, we can use it, of course. But what happens when we are talking about, or we want to replace plural subjects or multiple subjects? Can we use it? Well, in order to do it in the better way possible, we have to use, instead of it, we gotta use them. So when we are talking about singular things, we use it, and when we are talking about plural things, we use them. For example, we have the sentence, please do not break the glasses, right? When we are talking about in a singular option, it would be like, please do not break the glass. It is fragile, right? But what happens is, if it's not only one glass, what happens when we are talking about multiple glasses? We cannot say, please do not break the glasses, they are fragile. right? We gotta change the use of it for them. So please take care of them. For example, they are fragile. So you are not using it because you are talking about multiple objects. Finally, we gotta keep in mind that it will never goes after a subject. So when we are learning English, usually beginners, it's really common for them to say like it's that is not important, or for example we can say something like the food is very good, right? So let's write it down in here. The food is good. So most of the times when people are learning, they can say, or they can confuse this using here, and they can say something like the food is good, which is wrong because this sentence already has a subject, the food, right? So we don't really need to use it again. The right way to do it would be the one on top. The food is good, without the use of the word it. So basically these are some of the uses that we can give to this word that commonly is confused with some other uses depending on the mother tongue of the learners. And well, in order to put it in practice, a really good exercise that you can do in your house is like look for things that you have around you, next to you, in front of you, behind you, and first you will write a sentence about this object or the object that you have previously selected. So let's say that I have in here a guitar, I have a bed, and I have some keys. So the first thing is that I will write, I don't know, the keys are from my house, I bought the bed in 2020, and my grandpa gave me a guitar. So we already have the first part, that is a sentence. What are we going to do after that? To put in practice the use of it, we are going to write some sentences related with the previously mentioned object, and we are going to use it. So for example, my grandpa gave me my guitar 2 years ago. It was a great gift. It is color red and it sounds really good. I like it a lot and it's one of my favorite objects. So in there we have some examples of how to first mention the object and then we can replace it in order to keep talking about it but without mentioning it too many times. So this is an exercise that you can put in practice in your house. You can do it alone and you just need to look for things around you. So I hope that this video has helped you with some doubts about the use of the word it in English, and I wish to see you again. Thank you so much.